Hello and welcome to MJR Piano Academy. The piece I just played is the exact piece called For Allies in A minor that is displayed on the screen. And by the end of this video, you will be able to read all the symbols in this sheet music and be able to play this exact piece and many more other pieces. So stay around till the end of the video. Let's get started. Now, to begin with, this is the overall view of the staff notation. Staff notation is made up of very many symbols since it's a language of its own. Therefore, it's made up of very many symbols combined with characters and as we shall be seeing. And to begin with, here we have the overview of this staff notation. And as you can see, we have our labelings on each note or on each symbol here. And to begin with, we have the treble clef. The treble clef is this symbol that is like an 8. Yeah, it's like an 8, though it's not an actual 8. It's called the treble clef. This is for the right hand or from the middle of the piano to the upper part. Therefore, all the notes in that side or in front of that symbol, the treble clef, they will be played from the middle C upwards and using the right hand. And the next symbol we have the bass clef. The bass clef is like a C, but an inverted one. It is like a C. And this is for the, like its name, it's for the bass. Therefore, from the middle C of the piano downwards to the bass side. Therefore, any note in front of that clef, it will be played using the left hand and from the middle C going downwards. And we have another labeling here called the time signature. The time signature is indicated using numbers. And we are seeing a 4 down and a 4 up. This is the time signature. I'm going to be going deep into all these and you will be understanding what each mean specifically. But this is just the overview. And another part we have the note. The note is these small circles we're seeing inside our music. Those are the notes. We have different types of notes and we are going to look at them all. And another part, we have the stave. The stave, these are the lines on which the notes sit or are positioned. And these ones are 5 in number for each clef. For the treble clef, they are 5. And for the bass clef, they are also 5 and they are the horizontal lines. And another part, we have the bar line. The bar line is this line, the vertical line that moves from up to down. And this is for separating music into beats or into bars, whereby we have, I think normally you have ever heard of something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It means that after counting the 4, then you rest, that is a bar, then you go back again to 1 and count again. And another last symbol here, we have the double bar line. This indicates the end of music, a piece of music. And when you reach at this point, it means the song has ended. And with that overview, let us dive into more of these symbols and we understand each and everything clearly. To begin with the notes, we have what we call the notes pyramid. And here we have multiple types of notes and their counts and actually like what they mean. These notes are interpreted in 2 counts, whereby where you see a note, it means counting a given number of beats. Remember, beats are for instance, I've demonstrated earlier that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 4 beats. Therefore, each note here in the notes pyramid symbolizes a given type or a given number of bits or of counts, like it is being shown here. And at the very top, we have what we call the semi-brief or the whole note. You can either call it a semi-brief or a whole note, and this carries 4 counts or 4 bits. Therefore, where you see a note of this kind, which is like an O or a circle, it means you will count, you will hold it, and then you count 4 bits off, and you make 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And our next type of note in this pyramid, we have this is called here we and in the next part of this notes pyramid, we have what's called the half note or a minim, and this carries 2 counts. Therefore, where you see it, you will hold the note and count 2 times. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then the last another one we have, it's like a D. Its circle is shaded, and this is called the quaver, or the quarter note or the crotchet, and this carries 1 count. Therefore, you count 1, 1, and another one. We have the last one is the quaver, and this carries half a count. Therefore, if the whole count or the 1 count was 1, 1, therefore this will be half of that. 1, 1, half, in that format. Therefore, this arranging them in the pyramid means that they go on halving, or they go on let me say dividing in their number of counts by 2. They go on dividing. Therefore, we shall see more other notes below this pyramid in the future, and we shall have the 4th, the 5th, sorry, the quarter, the 8th, and many more. And to proceed on to another section, we had the time signatures. And for the time signatures, we have the upper number and the lower number. For instance, in our first piece, the one that has a 4 up and a 4 down, this is pronounced as the 4x4 time signature. The upper 4 indicates the number of counts in a bar. Therefore, each bar, in this case, we have 4 bits or 4 counts. Therefore, in order to have a rest, we shall first have 4 bits in that bar, and then we go into another bar, and again we have 4 bits or 4 counts, and again we have another rest, and we're going on to another one. And the figure below, that's another 4. It indicates the type of note that carries a 1 count, and this is a quarter. Therefore, the quarter note, going back onto our pyramid, just to demonstrate this more clearly. Yeah, the quarter note carries 1 count apparently. Therefore, it is in the default, this piece will be in the default settings, whereby the quarter note is carrying 1 count. And since the quarter note is carrying 1 count, therefore we shall need 4 quarter notes in each bar in order to fill up that bar. And if we are to use the semi-brief that carries 4 counts or 4 bits, we shall need only 1 semi-brief in 1 bar in order to fill it up to go on into the next bar. And just to explain this further, in this next example, we have a 3x4 time signature. The 3 means 3 counts or 3 bits in each bar. And the 4 below is indicating that still the quarter note is carrying 1 count. And that the same applies to this third one, the third example, which has 2 up and a 4 below. A 2 up meaning 4 counts or 4 bits in each bar, and a 4 below meaning the crochet or the quarter note is carrying 1 count. Now you will find some other examples whereby you have a 4 up and an 8 below. An 8 means the 8th note, that's the one with the tail. It's now carrying 1 count. Therefore, everything will have changed. Whereby if the eighth note is carrying one count, therefore the quarter note will now be carrying two counts. Therefore, the setting has shifted. Just to come again, if at all we have an 8 below, it means that the eighth note, the one with the tail, which was literally carrying a quarter count, it's now carrying a full count, a full one count. Therefore, the one that is supposed to carry a one count has now shifted into the two counts. And the one for the two counts, it's now, they're going shifting like that, like that. And that's it for the time signatures. And to now going on to the notes themselves, how we interpret them on our staves, on our staff notation. To begin with, we have an imaginary line, the one drawn with the dots, the dotted line. That is our middle C on the piano. Remember, we have a middle C on the piano that separates our treble and our bass. Therefore, the note here, it is a C. Recalling from our earlier classes, from our earlier videos, we know that each two black notes, each two black keys, the first one is always a C. Therefore, this is a C, and alphabetically from C, D, E, F, G, then A, B, C. Two black keys. The first one is a white key. But you are not yet familiar with this, you can check out those videos on this same channel. And to continue with this, since this is the imaginary line, therefore it has the middle C. And in this case, we have two types of notes, the line note and the space note. From the line note, you go straight to the space note. And you can see from this chart that we have a C, the imaginary C, and then a space note that is from this middle C, we have a space, and then we have the line that starts, the line upwards, that starts the treble clef. We have a D, that is a space note. And we have another, from D, we have another line. I mean, the first line, we have a note on it that is a line note, that is E, alphabetically. We have a C, then the space note D, then the line note E. And from the line note E, we have another space note, which is F. That is F. And a line note G, then a space note A. Therefore, it goes on in that order, line note, space note, line note, space note, and it follows the same exact order of the musical alphabet on the piano. Therefore, they will go on in that same format. You will be interpreting them like that. And to illustrate also for the bass clef, remember our middle C, and going backwards, we know from our keyboard that this is C and this is B. Therefore, we have a space note from our chart, which is B, and going downwards into the bass clef side, we have a line note, which is A, then G, then line note F, then space note E, then line note D, and space note C, and so on and so forth. Hopefully you have understood that very well and clearly. And without wasting time, let me show you a simple shortcut or technique that you can use to master these quickly, because you will need to have them off head in order to play the staff notation very well. We have these symbols. We came up with these they are like acronyms. For the line notes of the treble clef, we have every good boy does fine. And you only take the first letters of these words. Those are the corresponding the names or the alphabetical names of these lines. Therefore, for the first one, we have an E, then we have a G. For the line notes, we have a G, then we have a B, then we have a D, and we have an F. Every good boy does fine. And for the space notes, for the treble clef, we have a word face. That is F in the first space, then A, C, and E to make the word face. Yeah, that's pretty clear. And for the bass clef, it's also the same thing. You just apply a different one. Whether you can come up with your own that you can easily remember. But with time, this is just for a short period of time. But with time, the brain will master these, and you will not require, or you will not need these shortcuts in order to interpret the sheet music. We have the good boys do fine always. That's for the line notes, for the bass clef, and we have all cows eat grass. Remember, we are taking only the first letters of each word in these clefs or in these short words. And with that, I think you are already well off and well equipped with staff notation knowledge. And we can go on and demonstrate with this piece, which is called the Grandfather's Clock. This piece is from the John Thompson's Easiest Piano Course. Yeah, you can check out that book. I'll be putting the link in the description for you for it. And to interpret this very fast without wasting time, we have the treble clef. We have a 4x4 time signature, meaning each bar is going to have 4 beats of 4 notes. And we have a middle C. By the way, to clarify on this, in most cases, the middle C is not drawn as a straight line through the whole sheet music, but it is indicated by drawing a note and applying a small dash on it. Like you can see all of these notes in this piece. Therefore, all these notes are at C. But now, when you look at these notes, some of them are pointing upwards and some of them are pointing downwards. Therefore, those that are pointing upwards are for the treble clef, meaning that you have to use the right hand. And for those pointing downwards, you have to use the left hand. But keeping in mind that they are in the bass clef, but therefore left hand. Pointing upwards, treble clef, therefore using the right hand. But you can see this is the note with two counts. And remember, from our notes pyramid, we said that, or from our knowledge of the time signature, we said that a 4-up means 4 beats per bar. Therefore, we shall need 2 of these types of notes in order to fill up each bar, since each note of this type carries 2 counts. And this is played in this format. By the way, you can see a 1 somewhere, meaning that you have to use finger number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, finger number 1 is applying on this one. The first one, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you switch the hand because there is a bar, a rest, and then you switch. The next bar is for using the left hand. Again, finger number 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's done. Hopefully you have understood that very well. And going back onto our masterpiece, which is the fur Elice. This is very common, and it is an ice cream theme in Africa here. And you can see very many symbols here that I haven't talked about, but I will be explaining them further in my next video on staff notation. There are 4. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. Yet always be notified when I upload a new video. In our next video, I'll explore all the rest of the other symbols, such that you can be able to play systematically and be able to interpret more and more pieces. But for now, I'm going to share with you the John Thompson's Easiest Piano Course, and you go through those exercises so that by the time we get into the next lesson, you are well equipped with the basic principles. Thank you for watching.